What is up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Thursday night, 5 o'clock here in beautiful Lakewood Ranch. Cheers to you. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys joining us. Super excited for tonight. I got myself another fantastic event or guest tonight. But first, do a little cheers. Wanted to say thank you guys for tuning in. I am grateful for all of you who have tuned in and watched. It's just exactly a year since we uploaded our first video since moving back to Maui. Just about exactly a year, just slightly over that one. And today we actually closed our first real estate transaction from YouTube. So grateful for our just amazing clients, just an absolute sweet couple. Bought a beautiful home, got a sweet deal. Man, did we negotiate them a fantastic deal. So super happy, super grateful. Do me a favor, drop a comment down below. Let me know where you're watching from. For those of you who care, tonight I am drinking 1792 small batch. It is delicious. It is 93.7 proof. That's kind of like my cap. I had some stronger than that one, but I kind of like that 80 to 90 range. 95 is kind of my max. This one's kind of good. It's kind of vanilla-ish. 1792. I had to Google what that meant. And now that I found out what it meant, it was pretty obvious. So 1792 is the year that Kentucky became a state, right? Kentucky bourbon. It is a delicious drink. I'm excited for tonight because tonight we are going to be switching things up. So I'm going to need your feedback because this is going to be interesting. So I first have a question for you bourbon drinkers out there. How do you take it? Neat, on the rocks, in a mixed cocktail? I switch it up. I kind of heard that it's kind of like wine, right? There's red wine, there's white wine, there's kind of like the kind you don't. Same with bourbon. You have it however you want. So this is neat, nothing in it, just straight up room temperature because it's delicious. I do have it on the rocks. Sometimes I use just a little teeny rock. Sometimes I use the big round block rocks. And sometimes I mix it in the cocktail. I made my own drink last week. I'm trying to come up with a fun Hawaii-inspired drink. I used ChatGPT and came up with a really cool drink. It was not really Maui inspired. The name was, you gotta love ChatGPT and AI. So the name was, I had to plug in a bunch of information. The name turned out to be South Maui, what called? Oh, South Maui Herb. Get the play on that one? South Maui Herb. But it was a bourbon drink with muddled basil. Not very Hawaii inspired. The name was, it was a delicious drink though. I'm going to do a video about that drink in particular in one of my videos. Without further ado, I want to bring in my guest for tonight. It is Miss Monica. Hello, Miss Monica.
Hi. Hey, Adam. How's it going?
It's going excellent. Cheers. Thank you for joining. I know it's early there in Anaheim, California.
Yep.
Day drinking. It's 1 o'clock. Is that right?
It's 2 o'clock here.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
I have a very non-alcoholic drink.
All right. Betty Buzz.
It's Betty Buzz's ginger beer. My fridge is always filled with these. So
yeah, gotcha.
Always gotta do that.
Do you remember you drink? I can't remember if you drink.
I stopped drinking a little over a year ago.
Okay, so nice. Good for you.
I have a cocktail occasionally. Like next time I go to Maui, I'm definitely gonna get one of those Lilikoi Mai Tais, but very occasionally. Yeah.
That's good. I'm about to do a video, and yeah, interesting enough too. The video concept. I'll give a sneak peek for those of you who are watching it, and for you as well too, because I kind of did a short version of this just to kind of test the results, and I like I did it on TikTok just to see what kind of reaction I would get. So January wrapped up, and I had a lot of friends who did like dry January, right? Or they're sober, or they took a break over the holidays and quit drinking, or they're California sober. Google that if you don't know what that is. But the premise of the video was that I just built a bar in my house, and I'm building a bourbon collection. I was like, should I feel guilty about that? Do I feel terrible? Am I the one who's got the problem? Making me go crazy, thinking like, shoot, do I have a drinking problem? I got like 60 bottles of bourbon. What the hell's wrong with me? So that was kind of the premise of it. But I'm gonna do a full video of it, not just a like a Reels or a TikTok. But and then same thing. It was like, and I have no judgment. I can care less if you drink or don't drink, or if you're sober, or whatever the case. But yeah, I was kind of thinking, I was like, huh, I'm building this bar and like I'm seeing all my friends. I was like, that's strange.
Yeah. Yeah. When we don't drink, we always bring our own stuff to the party because you
Yeah,
never know what
for
you're
sure.
gonna have. So I always have these available. So I'm like, I'm just gonna bring my ginger beer to the party.
Yeah, yeah. We always have all sorts of fun
Yeah.
non-alcoholic drinks in the house too for
Yeah.
friends who don't drink. But it's awesome. All right, well, cool. I appreciate you joining in. Tell the
Yeah.
folks who you are, where you're from, what area do you work.
Yeah, so I'm Monica Villalobos. I'm in Anaheim, California, just a few minutes from Disneyland. And that is my main market. It's Orange County, California, all of Orange County, even parts of LA. We're really close to LA here. So that's
Nice.
what
Were
we
you affected
do.
by the fires at all?
No, thank goodness here in OC, we're completely safe. The fires are about 30, 40 miles away in each direction, really. And it's been just so windy everywhere in Southern California.
Yeah.
And our fire department here, specifically in Anaheim, they just kind of posted up in hills and have been trying to um, create barriers so that there's no issues affecting homes here. So they've really been taking a lot of preventive measures here in Orange County. So
Oh, good.
we've
Good, good, good.
learned from all that in LA.
Nice. Do you watch Million Dollar Listing, LA?
Sometimes.
Okay, yeah. And the reason I asked is because just today I saw a really great, powerful video from Josh Flagg.
Oh, okay. I like Josh Flagg.
Yep. Specifically, he's born and raised in LA, so he's got some. I mean, he's the first person I think of when I think of LA, not necessarily just because of real estate, but just
Yeah.
I've watched enough of that show to know like he's got some history in LA, and so I'm hoping he's got some sway because he did a direct message to the governor and to the mayor of LA, just like you got to fix this and you got to fix it now, and you can't just. I don't want to reiterate exactly what he said, but it's like it can't be 18 to 24 months for somebody to get a permit. They can't go through all the red tape that they currently have to go through. So if they bought their house in the 70s, you can't make them rebuild their house to today's specifications. Like just get it rolling and get it done fast.
Yeah, I will say I've seen quite a bit of real estate agents who have some clout out there, really trying to advocate for people of LA, and like with price gouging for rentals,
Yep.
like with the building permits. There's been a lot of people really coming together to kind of take care of Angelinos.
Yeah,
So
for sure. And we went through the same thing on Maui too. And yeah, they put a freeze on renting up renting up the rents.
mhm.
And yeah, it was just tragic. And I know that area. I lived in that area. I lived in Woodland Hills, which is not necessarily in there, but yeah, spent a lot of
It's
time
close
in that
enough.
neck of the woods. What's that?
It's close enough. I mean, you'd be
Yeah,
affected by fires in Woodland Hills.
yeah. And I was in California for the Oakland Hills fires
Mm.
in Northern California, and then I was in Southern California for those back in this was like the mid 2000s. I guess there was another big fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, as California, we've had a lot of fires. My
yeah.
my mom was affected by fires, but like 15, I think like 15 years ago, something like that. She was living in Santa Barbara and she was renting
Mm.
like a little studio, one bedroom, like casita. And they told her to evacuate that night. And she's like, oh, nothing's going to happen. Everything's going to be fine. She grabs just a few things. She got her passport and her social security, those important things. And the next day she found out she didn't have a home. So it was really hard, but it is truly amazing what people do to help. I mean,
Yeah,
complete strangers helping out. And she was even able to find through her real estate agent out there, um, basically like an Airbnb, so short-term rental. And
oh,
they were
good.
renting to her in the meantime until she was able to get a place again.
Mm.
And, that's kind of what's been happening here too. People coming together to find shelter, find homes for
Yeah,
people. I actually have helped people get into Orange County from LA from the fires, but
oh,
not as
interesting.
many as I feel like if you live in LA, you don't really want to live in Orange County and vice
Yeah,
versa.
it's kind of either or. We're seeing a lot of people though moving to Florida, and I think there'll probably be more people moving to Florida just because you can get to
Yeah.
so much more.
Yeah, but your guys' insurance is just as bad as ours.
Terrible. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. and get well. I shouldn't say it's getting worse. I know I just saw an article the other day that a couple more insurance companies are coming in, but insurance is a risk game, right?
Yep.
I'll cover you for this, assuming that like this doesn't happen. But now we just have so many storms like back to back to back.
Yeah.
That risk is even higher. When we were on Maui, I don't know if you know that there was a ton of fires when we were on Maui, and we got evacuated like our first month there. Obviously didn't know anybody. Well, the only person we knew was the vet who helped us move the dogs over. And you know that area. So we were in North Kihei, and the fire was in North Kihei, so they were sending everybody south to Wailea and Makena. And as you know, that just dead ends.
Yeah.
And in typical Maui fashion, everybody who was in Wailea and Makena, they evacuated to the north, only to be turned around in North Kihei to go back again.
Oh, right? That's confusing.
There was nowhere to go. That's where the fire was. Yeah. So, we had 2 big dogs at that time, and we kind of knew. We like, those hotels there. There's the Grand Wailea, there's the Fairmont Keilani, there's the Four Seasons. I think like the starting price is like $1,000 a night. This was January, peak season. And they definitely don't take dogs for sure, unless they're service dogs. But we called them anyway. We're like, you got any rooms available? Nothing. No Airbnbs available because it's peak season. So we made a decision really, really quick because that area is small. So we're like, let's just go to the beach, spend the night at the beach. We're going to need a spot. So we went to Makena because we knew there was like bathrooms and showers and space. And of course, we got there quick, like right after this first fire, and it was packed already. Everyone else with that same idea, like where else are we going to go? Let's go to the beach. And so we set up camp, 2 dogs, dog food. We got some wine, just food for a couple of days, and we had some to-go bags. And now we're posting on social media, like here's what's happening, blah blah blah. And our vet tech, long story short, like called up a friend of a friend of a client of a friend, and like found us like just this fat house to stay in with the dogs.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. They were like, I'm going to introduce you to the neighbor. I don't know the neighbor, but the neighbor's friends with one of my clients, and their house is empty, and you can just go to their house.
Like, oh my gosh.
Crazy, right?
That is crazy. What a blessing, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got some crazy stories about fire too. I know we're kind of going off on a tangent, but as our closing gift, we used to do like some really cool like Hawaiian stuff. So we had a friend who would make like really beautiful Hawaiian flower arrangements, and like different lays, and then there's different stuff. I can't remember what they're called that you put on the door from their house for good luck and all that kind of stuff. And my photographer at that time, our photographer at the time, was moving off island. Husband got a job in California, so she put together a whole bunch of her friends to out for like a farewell dinner. So photographer, her husband, I can't remember if her kids were there too, but then she was also friends with the girl who does the flower arrangements, and her husband and her like 3 little kids, and a bunch of other people. So it was really cool. But fast forward, I don't know, 3-4 months later, front page of the Maui Times, fire was arson started by local gal. I see the picture on the front page. It's our flower girl, and I'm like looking all like disheveled, cute Hawaiian girl, just exactly what you would think, a Hawaiian woman would look like. Just super nice, very pretty. And I'm like, she's looking all disheveled. And I was like, so I called my friend. I was like, this is her, right? It's like, what the hell happened? Like, we just went out to dinner with like her husband and 3 kids. I sat across from them. Like, what the hell happened? Yeah, they got in a fight, got divorced. She moved out, got involved with some meth head, and started some kind of fire.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hey, it's hold on. It's Captain Guy and JT. Aloha.
Maui bound in 2
weeks.
Right? Jealous.
I know.
Maui bound in 2 weeks.
Awesome. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That is a crazy story for sure.
Yeah, that is a true story. It was completely surreal.
I don't know. That kind of seems like a story that I would hear coming from Florida.
Yeah, well, have you seen the TV show? It's Florida Man.
No, I haven't.
Not like Florida Man. It's like it's Florida Man, I think it was on. I think it's
I haven't.
Netflix.
I've heard stories. I literally just had a conversation with someone who's from California that moved to Florida for a few years, and he
Yeah,
had some stories. It's very entertaining.
it is. Yeah, it is. If you have Netflix or Amazon,
Yeah.
just like really
Wait.
oddball stories. All right, so I digress. So real quick, so we know each other from Tom Ferry Coaching, right? You're on Tom Ferry Coaching, right? And Real Brokerage.
Yes.
It's kind of like peanut butter and jelly, I always say. Like they
Right.
just go good together, right?
That's for
Gotcha. Do you remember how we met?
So yeah, actually, and it wasn't at either of those events
No?
or anything. We met at Fit Summit in
It's
LA.
on it.
Yeah, and that's how we connected. And I started following your channel, and I was just like, dang, okay, this is cool. And I was all excited watching your videos because I love going to Maui. So I'm like, oh, okay. So
Yeah. I
so now
love
I'm
Vid
in
Summit. I mean,
Florida.
we got a Tom Ferry events, real event. Vid Summit is really like one of my favorite events.
Yeah.
It is put on by Mr. Beast
Mm-hmm.
and Sharondas.
Leaves.
Yep, and Daryl Leaves. And Daryl Leaves, I kind of joke, knows more about YouTube than YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so for those of you watching at home, it's not like it's an educational event. It's not like you're going there to get Mr. Beast's autograph. Um,
Yeah. I
but
like that.
here's how I remember it. So I can't remember what year that was. You remember 20?
It was a few years ago. I think it was 3 years ago.
21. But I remember what happened was is that there's the big stage, right, where all the big speakers speak, and then there's a bunch of like little breakout rooms where you can see like specific topics by specific YouTubers.
Mhm.
And I was at a little breakout session, and then that wrapped up, and I went over to the big room because that year Mr. Beast was speaking.
Yeah, that was really
That was
cool.
a big deal.
Yeah.
Um, and I remember they had the door shut and locked and security up front. I was like, what the hell's going on? They're like, it's packed. And this is before it started. It's packed. We have to wait to see how many seats are empty, and then we'll escort you in. I was like, that's weird. But I was the first one, and there were still like 20, 30, 40, 50 people at that door behind me. So now I'm like, am I going to miss Mr. Beast? So anyway, a couple minutes later, before we started speaking, they opened the door, and I don't want to say security, but whatever they were, somebody who worked for Vid Summit, like literally escorted me in to an empty seat. Right? Here you go. Here's a seat. And it was next to you. Didn't
That's
notice
what
that.
happened.
Yeah, didn't notice that at the time. But I remember almost immediately, Sharondas came out, and they're like, "We're going to do a giant game of rocks, paper, scissors." And you're going to win a computer or a TV, or I can't remember what they're giving away. And so they're like, introduce yourself to the person on the left, and here's how it's going to work, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I remember you looked at me, you're like, I never win anything.
I was like, I don't even want to play. Like, I'm not gonna win.
Yeah. And sure enough, rock, paper, scissors, you beat me, moved on to the next person. Fast forward, you won.
Yeah. I was like, well, and
Thousands of people.
here's what's funny. The prize was a purple mattress. And I
That's what it was,
never
right?
got it. Like
You never got it?
no, they never reached out to me for the prize. And I was like I emailed them, never got anything. So it was a phony.
Lame. I won this. I won this the next year.
So that's pretty cool. I need
This
to
is nice. Yeah. These are super expensive. It's a little wand.
yeah,
Not the
that's
microphone. I've had the microphone, but just the arm. But I remember too, because it was another year, and they were like, show of hands, who just built a video studio, and I just built one on Maui. I was like, they're like, you won. And I was like, sweet, that was easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's the story.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of winners.
Just a bunch of winners. Nice. All right. So you're from Anaheim, which is awesome. What's the real estate market like in your area right now?
The spring market is usually crazy. We're still in the winter market, obviously. It has been an absolute frenzy, and I was not expecting it to be this crazy. I will say it's been busy for me. I have a lot of listings that are in escrow or coming up, and so it's great because then I get to see what's happening in the market, and it's week by week. So this past weekend, I had a condo open house, which usually this time of year, the open house traffic is maybe like 15 to 20 groups per day, tops. I had 65 groups through this
Oh
weekend.
my gosh, that is nuts.
And every single offer that we got was really good. They were all over asking price and just really well done. And so it made it really hard for my clients to pick a buyer because they felt bad. They're like, oh my gosh, these are really good offers.
Yeah.
And it's a little tough out there. And of course, that's entry level market. So it's going to be a little bit more competitive. But I've got another listing coming up that's a single family home in a couple weeks. And I just put it out there, put feelers out there, and I've already got buyers waiting in line for this place.
Wow.
My client got a letter from a random buyer at their house, and it's not posted anywhere online.
That's nuts.
So yeah, so the word has gotten out. So it's like that.
Interesting. Yeah, we are not that way at all whatsoever. Like, I'm sure maybe you heard, like Florida during the pandemic was just its own little world, and everything was inflated. Like, we were gone for 5 years, and the prices went up like something ridiculous, like 60, a lot. Like, it's just insane how much they went up, and now it's catching up.
Got it. So do you have a lot of homes that are just sitting on the market, or
I have two. I can't tell. I might expire my first listing ever.
what? No way.
And not for the life of me. And it's yeah. I mean, even for me, I mean, I'm a realist. I am known for just being very straightforward and honest about pricing. And these two, man, the market is just rejecting both of them, and they're just sitting, and that's everywhere. Like, usually on my live stream, I would go through like the week stats. Like, here's how many new listings this past week. Here's how many sold in the past week. And I recall last year, probably September, October, November, December, when I talked about how many price adjustments.
Mhm.
It was like 400, and then it was like 600, and it was like 700, and like these last 2 weeks, it's like 1,700 price adjustments. Yeah, totally, completely nuts. Yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
mean, I like the idea of getting back to a regular market. But yeah, it's a shock for a lot of people, and still a lot of people are just like, testing the market and listing it too high. Yeah, it's a massive issue here with obviously home prices through the roof, and like we were talking about off camera, insurance costs,
Mhm.
and homeowners association costs here.
Yeah.
And just that's a whole. I've done a bunch of videos on that one. Those are just massive, massive, massive issues. I don't know about California, but I know in Hawaii, and I've been on a board before. Is like condos had to have reserve funds
Mhm.
for those. Well, first of all, for the things that they knew was going to come eventually, right? Like, eventually you're going to have to replace the roof. Eventually you're going to have to, pave the parking lot. So you have to have money for those. And then there's the miscellaneous stuff that you can't prepare for, that you want to make sure that you have money so that your people who live in the condos are not hit with a, $5 million special assessment for the next 40 years. In Florida, they did not have to have any reserves
Uh,
until now. It's 2 years ago when that building collapsed in Miami.
yeah.
Yeah, changed all the rules. So now they're kind of being forced to have these inspections, and to get these repairs done, and they don't have any money.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're
massive.
definitely very strict here. I mean, our HOAs are really high in some areas. I'm lucky to live in a community where the HOA is it's still under 300 a month. But Orange County, like I have one that I just sold that was a little over 500 a month with zero amenities.
Wow.
So that's kind of what you expect. So it's like 400 is kind of the average that you'll see.
Yeah.
No guarantee that you're going to have amenities. A lot of it's because of insurance.
Yeah, it's completely nuts. Hey, I forgot to ask you, what do you do when you're not real estating?
I'm at Disney. What are you talking about?
You're Disney. Yeah, you're right down the road from Disney, right?
I'm at Disney usually.
Have like a fast
Yeah.
pass to get you in, right?
Oh yeah. Well, I've got my magic key is what they call it. They changed the
Right.
annual pass name. whatever. But yeah, so I got my magic key and I'm going to go a couple times a month.
Okay,
But
nice.
then, I'm always with my dogs otherwise.
Yeah.
Or being a
It'll be
foodie
nice.
with my friends.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the heart of everything right there. I mean, you got Anaheim right there. You
Yeah.
obviously got Disney. Yeah.
It's honestly living here. I walk to everything.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I can't walk to Disney. I mean, I could, but I'm not doing that.
Do
It's
you
an
have
8
do
to
you
the
have
park.
good parking?
Yeah. My pass,
Yeah.
I get free parking
Okay.
at the Mickey and Friends parking lot.
Oh, nice.
So literally 8 minutes from my door to the parking lot. So
That is awesome.
yeah.
So I don't know about you, but I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of real estate on YouTube. I follow a lot of my friends all over the country. I like to watch their live streams just to kind of get a feel for one, what they're doing, two, what the real estate market is like near their area. And as we talk kind of off camera, and for the people watching at home, know that I'm really trying to switch things up and kind of be like not so real estatey.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I got you. So of course, I don't know if you've seen these before too, but they'll pull up an article, right? The interest rates are through the roof. That's Monica and Adam are going to talk about what they think about interest rates. Yeah, I don't want to have that kind of conversation about articles. Now, I have a whole assortment of where to get fun articles. This one happens to be real estate related, but that was not done on purpose. Like I said, I'm trying to not to do real estate, but I was like, oh, this is a good one. We should probably talk about this one. So
Okay.
let me share my screen and I'll read a little bit of it, and then we can talk about it on the other side. It's this one. Share. Boom. Can you see that?
Yes.
All right. So wind and water are slowly taking this luxury house overlooking Cape Cod Bay. I saw that picture. I was like, oh man, that is dramatic, right? Like, look at that.
What the heck?
Right? Like that is a house on the beach that is like, or yeah, on the bay, like tumbling into the ocean. Or into
Oh
the
my
bay.
gosh.
So yeah, the waters of
That's
Cape Cod
not
Bay.
AI.
What's that?
That's not AI.
That is not AI. This is a real article from February
That's
5th,
real?
which was yesterday, right? So the waters of Cape Cod are coming for that big brown house perched on the edge of sandy bluff. It's not. It's just a matter of when. Erosion has marched right up to the concrete footings of this multi-million-dollar home, where it overlooks the bay. Massive sliding doors that used to open to a wide deck, complete with a hot tub, are now barricaded by thin wooden slats that prevent anyone from stepping through and falling 25 feet to the beach below. Oh my gosh. The owner knew it, obviously. He removed the deck and the other parts of the house, including a small tower that held the primary bedroom, before stopping work and falling into a standoff with the town. He since sold the place to a salvage company, which is amazing, right? According to his attorney. But now the town is worried that, well, this says it's going to be fall to the bay within 3 years, possibly sooner. I'm looking at that one. I go, is that really 3 years away?
That's
That looks close.
right? That's crazy.
Yeah. So that is crazy. And so the history of the home, the house was built in 2010 on Cape Cod. Its original owners sought permission from the commission in 2018 to build a 240-foot seawall to stave off erosion. And you're in California, so you see that all the time, right? These big walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. The commission's 7 members, all volunteers, rejected the seawall on the grounds that it might have unintended effects on the beach. They also questioned whether or not it would actually save the house. And it says an attorney bought it for $5.5 million back in 22, even though its future was in doubt, right? That's a risk.
Wow.
And yeah, so now it's obviously a threat. You know how that works with environmentalists, right? If that house falls in there, then it's going to all go into the bay. Anyway, I thought I'd share that. What do you think of that?
I mean, an attorney bought it, so
An
that
attorney
doesn't
bought it,
sound
right?
anybody. Because if this seawall was rejected and now this house is about to fall into the ocean, I feel like we've got some lawsuits about to happen.
Right?
Oh
And
my
somebody
God.
said, and look at that staircase. I mean, that literally is gonna collapse. Like, I'm surprised the salvage company bought it too, because I'm sure they're gonna make some money on it, but it's just a massive project.
Yeah, too much. But
Like,
like,
what are
who's
we gonna take? I mean, I'm sure he took everything out of the house, right? Beds and I mean, they're gonna take probably the copper, right? Because that's worth a lot of money nowadays, and
Yeah, it's
maybe
true.
some plumbing, take the flooring out. But
Yeah, what else could you get from it? I mean, is it furnished inside?
let's
You have
see.
furniture, what does it say?
Uh,
Like, do they have jewelry in there, you know?
yeah, right. Standoff with what to do with the house. Ooh, well, don't want that. The plan was supposed to be presented. No, it doesn't say. But look at that. It's like the only house that's kind of close. It looks like there might be one like way back there, but all the other houses are like way back
Oh,
here.
there's that back farther. That's
Yeah.
smart. But I
Um,
wonder, was that hill, did it look different before? Or was the house always
I'm
like,
sure. I mean, with that erosion, I mean, I
yeah.
don't know, where do you stay when you go to Maui?
I'm sorry, what? What about it?
Where do you stay when you go to Maui?
Oh, I always stay in Kihei.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're familiar with Kahana, right?
Wait, where's that?
Kahana is kind of in between Lahaina and Kaanapali.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
yes.
ton of Airbnbs there, and there's a great video. I should say a great video. There's an interesting video of a wave going right over the front building, the building, uh,
Oh,
and it's now trashed. So the challenge is that what do you do as the owner? Like you don't have there's nothing there anymore. Of course, now the person behind you's got waterfront property, but that whole area is like it's a massive issue because
got it.
it's eroding.
Wow. Yeah, that seems risky then.
Yeah, totally,
Huh.
totally risky. All right, sorry. I'm going to play a fun little game with you, and I'm going to answer
Okay,
these two.
I
It's
love games.
called "Would You Rather"
Oh,
and other
okay.
other stupid baits.
Oh, I love stupid games like this. Yeah.
Would you rather time travel to the past or the future?
Oh, the past.
Right? If you want to go, I'd go to the past too.
Yeah.
Who knows what the future is going to be? The future could be nothing here.
Right, right. But I mean, if you go to the past, I mean, you've won, especially if you have knowledge of what happens in the future. Like, oh, well, I'm going to invest in this, and I'm going
All
to
right, yeah,
change here. Oh, all those regrets that you have. Oh, I'm going to do this in my life.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
get my real estate license earlier.
Right, exactly. I hear this place, Beverly Hills, is going to be something else.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a house here, some land.
Right.
Would you rather give up music forever or never watch a movie again? That's a
Ooh,
tough one, right? 'Cause I love music and movies.
I would probably give up movies. I love music. I love singing. Karaoke is one of my favorite things. Um, yeah, I annoy anybody that's in the car with me because I will be singing. And if you say a lyric, I will probably sing it. So
Yeah, it's funny.
yeah.
That's too funny. So, quick funny story about karaoke. So, when I first moved to Hawaii the first time, drove
Yeah.
across country. My best friend lived in Orange County
Uh-huh.
at the time, and I'd not seen them in years. But I drove up to go see my cousin who was in Pasadena first,
Uh-huh.
and then I was going to spend a couple of days with my best friend and his family. And they can sing. My wife can sing. These guys can both sing. So I'm driving down from Pasadena down to Orange County. They were in Coto de Casa,
Oh, fancy.
and yeah, can't wait for you to come over. We're singing karaoke, and I was like, karaoke? What do you mean you're singing karaoke at the house? Oh, at the house, yeah. Unbeknownst to me, like they were into it. Like this is going back to 19. I don't know what's that. 2000. I moved in 2005 the first time. Like
Okay.
karaoke, like they literally had like the 6 CD changer, like so you can have like multiple CDs in there, and then they had the like the CD books, right?
Yeah.
Thousands of them. Like not really. I mean, they didn't really have them in order. You had to like go through them and like figure out like what genre you want to hear. Anyway, I can't sing, and I was like, well, that's fine. I'm not singing. Like 5 martinis later, like of course I'm singing.
Yeah.
Just can't sing. That's what I love about them. They
I
let me
mean,
sing.
everybody can sing. If you can't sing, then just do like Coolio, Gangster's Paradise.
There's a difference between can you sing or do you sing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I
Yeah.
sing, I cannot sing. Big difference.
Yeah.
All right, couple more. Would you rather always have amazing hair but terrible fashion, or dress impeccably but have a permanent bedhead? These are great.
Dress impeccably or what?
Would you rather always have amazing hair but terrible fashion, or dress impeccably but always have permanent bedhead?
Permanent bedhead. Ooh,
I always feel
ooh.
like I have permanent bedhead now.
You know what? I'm gonna say have good hair because
Yeah,
hair does a lot.
hair does a lot. Would you
Yeah.
rather give up your phone for a month or give up coffee?
Oh,
For a
easy.
year?
Coffee.
Yeah.
I don't need coffee.
Would you rather have zero access to the internet for a year or have every website you visited made public for everyone to see? Oh,
I mean, I don't think I have anything to hide. So
all right.
everything's all public, I guess.
Yeah, all right. These are funny. I had ChatGPT put these together for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
great.
And the next one is it's called Hot Takes.
Okay.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
No,
It's the ever-ending argument, right?
I know. You know, Christmas movies are a little bit more heartfelt.
Right.
So
Yeah. There are people who argue this one to the death, like it's a movie. I'm like, no, it's not. Just because it
yeah,
takes place in December does not make it a Christmas movie.
yeah. No, you gotta watch. You gotta watch Elf. You
Yeah, I
have to
always
watch
watch Elf.
Christmases, The Holiday. What are some other classics out there? A Home Alone.
We watched Christmas Story was a good one.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that's a good
That one
one.
plays on repeat.
Yeah, that's on repeat. Yeah,
Yeah.
we stumbled upon a couple of new ones too, like A Boy Named Christmas. You ever heard of that one?
No.
That was pretty good. Yeah, it
Hmm.
was like not claymation, but whatever the weird animation that they're doing nowadays. But that's a pretty good story too.
Okay. Yeah, I just watch all the Christmas movies they
Yeah,
have on Hallmark or
yeah,
Netflix. All about it.
yeah. And then we watch Elf too every year, of course.
Yeah, such a good
Right.
one.
Did you see the new movie with Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon? Just came out the other day. I
Oh
think it's
no,
on.
I have, they have a new movie together. I have to watch it.
Oh yeah, super cute. I mean, take it for what it's worth. It was a cute movie. Nobody's winning any Oscars for it, but yeah, they're both their daughters are getting married, and the venue's double booked.
Oh, I've heard that storyline before, but with those two, I'm sure it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's well worth it.
Cool. Okay.
It was on Amazon. I don't know if it was in the movies. It just came out the other day.
Okay.
If you could wipe one band off the face of the earth, who would it be?
Wipe a band off the face of the earth? Gosh, I don't know if I'd wish that upon anybody. Like, I don't know. Maybe like one of those screamo bands or something. I don't
Yeah, I don't know who
know.
I could. I
I
was
know.
thinking about
Oh,
that. I was like,
I got one. I got one. The Backstreet Boys, because NSYNC is better.
that's too funny. Is it acceptable to put pineapple on pizza?
Absolutely.
Right?
Pineapple with pepperoni.
Yeah, I
Even
did a video about that today too. And of course,
It's
yeah,
good.
you ask 100 people, you get 100 different answers. No,
Yeah.
yes, no. What's the greatest TV show of all times?
Oh man. I haven't watched a good TV show in a while, but the one that has made me laugh the most recently is Schitt's Creek.
So funny.
Oh
So
my God, I cry with that one. It's so funny.
just last night, we watch a lot of YouTube as our primary source of TV. And just last night, Jessica was like, what is this you're watching? It was like the top 10 funniest moments in Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
So funny.
Ew,
I think
David.
the number one was with what's her name dancing. God, so funny. I'm not gonna do it, but singing and dancing.
Oh, that Britney song that she does?
Yeah, it was. I can't remember what it's called, but it was just so freaking
Yeah.
funny. I think Cheers is the best TV. Well, I guess maybe The Sopranos, probably The Sopranos, but it was regular TV because that was HBO.
Yeah.
I'd say Cheers. All right. There's
Awesome.
crap load of these. I'm not going to go through all of those, but those are kind of fun, right?
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah. they like ChatGPT gave me like 100 of them, and I was like, okay, I got to dwindle these down. So I have like 10 of them that I'll do every week with um, different guests. And then I have tell me a story. You got a story you can share?
Oh, what kind of story do you want to hear? I don't know.
Should be insane. You ever have like some just crazy real estate thing happen to you?
Oh, I had. Did I tell the story on my Instagram or not? I had a crazy story that happened early on in the business. I might have talked about this one, but it's kind of a weird story. 6 months into the business, my girlfriend and I we were pounding the pavement hard, door knocking in Laguna Beach, and we got a listing. Wow. It was a $4 million listing, and we were just over the moon. It was overpriced, but we took it anyway. Because we're like, this is just such a great inn. We're going to door knock more, get our names out there. Like, it was a big to-do. And part of our marketing strategy for just like meeting people was going to have lunch at Tommy Bahama. Okay. And just going to the bar and chatting with people at the bar. So one day we meet this guy, and this older man, and he's, very unassuming. And he's like, I'm actually in the market looking for a house in Laguna. I'm looking for X amount of bedrooms, this and that, and a pool and whatever. And we're like, oh my God, we have literally the perfect listing for you. And I don't know, maybe he overheard us talking about it or whatever. But anyway, so we said, okay, well, we'll set up a time to go take a look at it. And there were a couple others that we recommended too. And the dude never shows up. And we're just like, what on earth? Like, no show, no call, nothing. We're like, what the heck happened? This is so weird. So, a couple of weeks go by. We're showing our listing. And one day I'm driving back home and I get a phone call from an agent. And they're like, hey, this is so-and-so. I just wanted to let you know regarding your listing in Laguna Beach. I have an offer coming in. It's full price. And I'll be sending it to your inbox in just a little bit. I'm like, okay, that's great. Is there anything you could tell me about your buyer, whatever? Like, just very surface level stuff. So I get to my computer. When I get home, I rush to my computer and I look at the offer. And the offer is from that dude from the bar. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, what is this? So we look it up, and we're trying to do like all the online research about this guy. And like nothing's adding up. So I talked to the agent more. I'm like, how well do you know this person? And she didn't really know. It was like a referral from somebody through somebody. And I said, well, we don't even have his proof of funds. Like, we can't accept this offer. So we told our seller about it, and he's like, well, let's open escrow anyway. And I was like, I don't think it's legit, but okay. And so we did, and the guy never showed. He never showed his earnest money deposit, whatever. The guy was it was a total fluke. Like, I have no clue why somebody would do that. Like, what? Don't you have better things to do?
People do not have better things to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just waste your time. Like, oh my God, it was a crazy situation. But yeah, 6 months in the business.
You get all excited, but good to see you for door knocking and getting a $4 million listing. That is awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, door knocking and open houses was the beginning of my real estate career, and it was like I was doing it almost every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know door knocking works. I did it here when I first started, but it's Florida, and it was just like I was bringing like 3 shirts with me, and like,
oh yeah.
I was like, I can't do that anymore.
You should just get like that little fan with the squirter from Disney and just.
Have you been to Florida before?
Well, I went to Orlando finally for the first time last September.
Oh.
To go to Disney World, and I swear I almost died at Disney World. It was so hot. I had to go get with one of those spray bottles and a cooling towel. I almost passed out. I just can't do it.
It's hot. It's thick.
I can't do it.
Yeah. Beautiful. Hey, are you watching the Super Bowl this weekend?
I'm going to be doing open houses.
I'll get ahead of you.
Yeah, I'm going to have an open house on Super Bowl Sunday. So I don't know. Right. I might try to catch a little bit of it, but I don't even know who's playing. I just know the Chiefs. somebody said something
All right.
about Chiefs. I don't
Eagles
know.
and the Chiefs. That was my next question. I don't really care. I'm a Steelers fan. I like the 49ers. I happen to live in San Francisco during the 90s heyday, so they became one of my favorite teams. And of course the Tampa Bay Bucks. So none of them are in the Super Bowl. So I have no skin in the game. We're gonna have some people over, and of course, we're gonna eat because that's what we do.
See, I think for me, that I only know about the Kansas City Chiefs because of the whole Taylor Swift thing. Um, and I think I'm more of the underdog kind of, you
Yeah,
know,
I hear you.
yeah, I'm more of the underdog. So yeah, not whoever's not the Chiefs.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think
Normally that's how I think when I have no skin in the game and don't care about either of the teams. But the Kansas City Chiefs could potentially win the three Super three Super Bowls in a row, which has never happened before. So for that reason, I kind of want them to win because it's probably not likely to ever happen again in my lifetime.
I thought the Patriots really didn't do that because they win all the time, or well, used to
Yeah,
win all the time.
not three in a row.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
interesting, right?
Yeah. Well, they need to switch it up anyway. Have someone else win.
They got to switch it up, yeah. So yeah, like I said, I usually want the underdog to win, but in this case, I'd like to see them win because it's not likely that I'm going to see somebody do 3 years in a row ever again.
Yeah.
Hey, how do people? Good.
I was going to ask you, are you playing any of those squares? No.
No, nobody asked me, and I've done those before too, and I've actually won before, but nobody's asked me this year, so yeah, I couldn't. How do people find you on social media?
Okay. Depends on where you want to be, but Facebook, not Facebook. We're not talking about Facebook because that's my personal stuff. Instagram is at monbon _mon_bon. If you type in monbon, you see the purple circle. That's me.
That's you.
And then on YouTube, of course, it's Living in Anaheim. So you can literally just go livinginanaheim.com or just type it in the search bar. And that is how you can find me here on YouTube.
Fun. How's YouTube going for you?
It's very slow, but I'm almost to my goal of 1,000 subscribers.
Nice.
And
that's awesome.
so cool. Like, I don't know. I think it's just the coolest thing being able to have my tribe come to me. Like the deals I've closed from the buyers coming from YouTube are just like they're like good friends now,
Yeah,
It's like we do
they've been watching you. Yeah, they've been watching you for a long time.
Yeah. And I just like that I can just be myself and people gravitate towards that. And I like to post whatever stuff or publish whatever I've got my own knowledge of living in Anaheim, and I don't like copying other people. So it's kind of just like my own thing.
Yep. Yeah,
So.
that's the great thing about YouTube. First of all, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and those videos are up. Unlike all the other platforms, like those videos are up forever.
Yeah.
Right. Like nobody's checking out your Instagram post from last week.
No, exactly. And I've even had people reach out from videos that are when I first was posting like 7 or 8 years ago, something like that. And I had made a series of videos that I should probably redo and update, but I did a series of videos that were so silly. Like I would dress up in costume and it was
on your YouTube channel?
Yes, they're really old. So if you scroll down and you'll find them, they're so stupid and I love them.
That's all right. Yeah, don't take them down. Maybe we do that.
No, I will never take those down. I'm proud of them.
Yeah, I kind of regret taking down some videos. Yeah, not a great idea because you can't get them back.
Yeah, leave them up. Leave them up.
I don't know if you heard in the very beginning, but we closed our first transaction today from YouTube since we came back.
I did hear that. Congratulations. That is
very exciting. It kind of makes you feel like, oh, it does work. Oh yeah, now I remember. It does work.
Yeah, it really does.
Because on Maui, we closed about $25 million in like 3.5 years just from video.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a learning curve trying to figure out what works here in Florida. Because I always kind of joke, because like I could have done a video about roadkill on Maui, and people would still watch just because it's Maui. Where now I'm in Lakewood Ranch, and not everyone knows Lakewood Ranch. They kind of know Sarasota, but not the same. So I always like to wrap up with some kind of inspirational quote. But because I'm switching things up, It's not going to be like as profound as some of the previous quotes. So if you're watching this at home and you're like, yes, give me some positive inspiration, Adam, like you always do. I'm like, yep, those days are over. Why? Because anybody can do those. So I got to find a fun little one. So today's funny quote is not really funny. It is kind of profound. In a crowded market, a good agent is like GPS. You can still get there without one, but it might take a few wrong turns. Still profound. Just
Yeah.
not like inspirational. It was not Lincoln or Teddy Roosevelt or
Yeah.
something like that one. Anything you want to shout out to the folks at home before we get out of here? I appreciate you joining.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a great quote to add to it, just with the theme of Anaheim. If you can dream it, you can do it. Walt Disney.
There you go. Right. Did you see that the Disney movie that came out? It wasn't a Disney movie, but it was about the story of Mary Poppins.
No, but that's something I would love to see.
We watched it on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Like it's a documentary.
Is it on Netflix or is it on Disney or?
I do not know what that was on, but it was an interesting story between Walt Disney and the woman who wrote the book. Like it was so intriguing. Like it sounds really dull.
Okay, I definitely have to watch that.
Yeah, like Walt Disney wanted that rights to that book for years.
Yeah, there was
I can't remember the name of it, but it was a doc. If you just Google that.
Okay.
But yeah, so intriguing.
Yeah, a big fan. But there was a Walt Disney movie that had some kind of documentary about him, and I can't. It was Tom Hanks that played him. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was so good. And this is kind of reminding me of that. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this now.
I'm wondering if that's the same story, but just with Tom Hanks. Yeah, we like a lot. We have Disney Plus. We watch a lot of those movies.
Yeah, I have to have Disney Plus. You have to if you live in Anaheim.
We saw Moana 2 in the movie theaters.
I still haven't watched it. I'm so sad.
It's like the only Disney movie that makes me cry.
Oh.
Yeah. And Moana 2 was good for a second one.
So you want to hear a really dorky thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So in Maui, so I go by myself a lot to Maui. And one of the things that I like to do is going in the water, right? So paddleboarding. I'll do paddleboarding, I'll go surfing. I'm actually terrified of the ocean. So this is just something I do to kind of get over fear, and I just do it anyway.
There's no parks in Maui.
Yeah, no, none at all. No. So I remember being scared paddleboarding because it was really windy. And I was like, oh my God, I better not fall. Like, I want to keep going. And so you know what I started doing? I started singing Moana. It built up the confidence. I'm like, oh, I got this. And that was all good.
You funny. Yeah, go see the second one. The second one was excellent.
Okay, I gotta do that. I'm supposed to FaceTime my niece and watch it together. So yeah,
we saw it in the theater.
Yeah, that would be better. I wanted to bring her to the theater, but she moved before we could do it. So FaceTime it is.
FaceTime it is. Awesome. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you coming on the show. I really appreciate it. And I know you're busy. I know it's still middle of the afternoon there, but yeah, I appreciate it. And I will see you. Are you going to San Antonio for the Real Rise?
Last year I went and it was a game time decision. I will probably do that again. If I go, I'm going to go a few days. I'm going to make that decision a few days before.
That's one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good events. And are you going to Rev B? Are you familiar with Rev B?
I'm sorry. I was thinking those backwards. So Rev B, I might go. Real Rise, I already got my ticket.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. I was getting this confused too. Yeah. So the next one is Rev B in April in San Antonio. Yeah.
Yeah. That one's a game time decision. So I'll probably make a decision like a week before or something.
That's a good event too.
Yeah. Last year, I went last year and I ended up making some really good friends. And so that's also one of the reasons.
Great speakers. Christina Smallhorn, you follow her?
Yes. Yeah.
She's going to be there speaking. Yeah. Jason Pantana, Alicia,
from Spokane.
Yeah, she's excellent. She's speaking.
Yeah, she's good too. I love her Instagram.
Yeah, she does a great job. I don't know if she's on YouTube, but she's definitely on Instagram for sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, and have a fantastic 2025, and we'll talk soon.
Whoa. Thanks for having me,
See
Adam.
ya. Oh, you never showed the pup. Is the puppy still
Oh,
there?
yeah, I gotta get my dog. Yeah, he's sleeping. It's Toby.
Wake up. Oh, there he is. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, just woke him up from the nap.
He's like, what the hell's going on? Who are these people?
My little
Nice.
mascot.
He's such a cutie.
Thank you.
All right. We'll talk soon.
All right. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye. Bye, Tips.